So whenever I came to college and I found out that they're investing money into a program for people like me, I'm like, okay, this has to be it. And so whenever I stepped in day one and made the amount of friends that I did, that's what set me on it. And so now I get to meet hundreds of people every year from, like I said, every walk of life, from all over the world. And that's what I enjoy about esports, is that the networking, the skills that you get, it's it's all great. So my name's Logan Lewis. I'm an undergrad at Northwest. Right now I'm studying computer science and information technology here, and currently I'm serving as the president for the esports program here on campus. So whenever I came to university, one of the things that we have to do is go to an organization fair and join or talk to other organizations. And whenever I did that, I found out that we had an esports program that was just starting this year. They built a facility, um, not really anything going on there. So I went, talked to the people, um, hung out with some of them. Later in the year, we joked around about making an Overwatch team. We ended up making one. It was something. I think, won one game out of like the 9 or 10 that we played, but it was fun, a lot of fun to do. But there was a lot of people interested in playing Overwatch for the university. So the university decided to make it a varsity program where they'll start recruiting people for it. And then they would scholarship freshmen that came to the university. Then I played throughout my sophomore year, Overwatch also. It was a lot more enjoyable. We didn't lose every match that we played. Going into my junior year of college, we started a Valorant varsity team. It popped off immediately. We were able to get a varsity and academy team. Later in my junior year, I found out that the university only scholarship freshmen. I worked with administrators and got that changed. So now all students within our varsity program are scholarship now. And then at the end of the year, the university told me that they wanted to hire a full-time director. At the time, through my first 3 years, the program was a student-led organization. So we didn't know what to do. And the fact that we got this far, I think, is really amazing, that we've been able to build the program this big. So my junior year, I helped administrators hire a full-time director for our university. And now my senior year, I work with our director. His name's Andrew Murphy. He came from Missouri State University, or Mo West. They're like 45 minutes away from us. But he came from there. He's grown the program immensely already, and I get to work with him. We get to recruit students all the time. We're soon going to be traveling to high schools. We talk to high school students all the time, trying to recruit them. We have a lot of students that come here for individual esports days just to come to our university for esports, and I think it's amazing. So the program, whenever I first got here, like I said, was just starting. They just put the students in small leagues that they could find, and we would play in them. It wasn't until actually this year that we joined NACE. I convinced administrators to spend the money to join NACE. And so that has really helped us being able to give our players a professional experience within the collegiate scene. But yeah, so the way that our program works is that we have a varsity side and a club side. Our varsity side, our main games this year are League of Legends, Valorant, and Rocket League. We have we have varsity team for League of Legends and Valorant, and then we have two teams for Rocket League. We have a academy and varsity team. Academy is kind of like a JV team, but they're still scholarship. For scholarships, whenever I first got here, scholarships were being used as a recruitment tool. And so I talked to some of our players and students, and they're like, I've played for you guys for the past 3 years. Why have I never got a scholarship? And so I thought that was just wrong. I'm like, because it's a waste of time for them. If they're not getting paid for it, then why should they do it? So I went to administrators. I'm like, we have to figure this out. So finally, we got it figured out after a lot of talking and debating to not use it as a recruitment tool. We still can, but it's not fair that our players aren't paid. So we got that done. One of the big parts here at the university is that we only really care about growth. So we all are here at college to get our education. So I could care less if any of my teams get a win or not. It's nice, but if I can see skill development, mental growth, I think that's a win for all of us and me to see that my players are growing as a person. But also the university, they're starting to see that. So during the summer, I also talked to administrators, and we're growing our program. They just ordered us 11 new PCs that we should be getting. Currently, we only have 7 computers for all of our students to play on. So we have a small facility, but we still have a very large community here. So, and then recently, Northwest has been having talks with our director and me about giving us a new facility, which I'm excited to be a part of. So, and then they're also thinking about doing graduate assistant, so I'd be able to see what the program will be like for another 2 years, and I'd be able to be a part of that. So I'm really hoping to see that. Yeah. So, like I said, whenever I first got here, there was no faculty running it. It was all student-led. So, since it was student-led, there was like a president and vice president. Their roles were just to tell us what to do if the university wanted us to do something. So a lot of the teams had captains, and then the captains were coaches. So since I ran the Overwatch team for the first 2 years, I was IGLing for our Overwatch team and coaching, and it was a lot of work to do. Then finally, my 3rd year, we started the Valorant team. I wanted to play on that, so I played Valorant and Overwatch, and it was a lot of work. I will never do that again. Playing 2 games collegiately took up so much of my time. I barely had time to even do homework. So luckily, whenever we got here, me and the director were like, okay, 1 game only. It takes up too much time. So now, since I'm in my 4th year, I'm a senior, my classes have become really advanced. They're harder, so I don't have time really to play a lot of the games. So I still have my role as president and help with recruiting and other aspects of club and varsity, but I'm also the manager for our varsity Valorant team. So I still interact with our varsity teams quite a bit, especially our Valorant one. My director, actually, I didn't even know that the awards were a thing until recently. So my director messaged me over Discord, and he's like, hey, can you write like a bit about what you've done for the university? I'm like, okay, I'll just type something up real quick. And later that afternoon, I get a notification from our Twitter that was like, hey, we've nominated Logan Lewis for the Scholar Awards. We would enjoy if everyone else would vote for him. I'm like, what is this? And so I talked to my director, and he tells me about what it is. I'm like, wow, like, I can't believe that. And then the fact that I actually got into the finalist, and because of the votes from the university being like from faculty, our students, our varsity, it's a lot. There's a lot of support here at the university. I didn't even have a Twitter whenever I was nominated, like I said. And so it was just all like crazy to me. I mean, like I said, esports, I didn't even know like it was a collegiate thing until like my first week of college that I was here. And so I found out that you probably need to get a social media to be a part of collegiate esports, because everything's posted, especially on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. But yeah. So ever since I got nominated, I did make a Twitter so I can finally have like I can show who I am. But yeah. So like I said, I've been here from the beginning, and to see the growth that I've been a part of and helped do, I think it's amazing. I'm not a player. I'm a leader, hence why I'm a part of the category. I've played before, but I enjoy helping my students or peers, players, whatever you want to call them. I enjoy helping them. If it's physically, mentally, game-wise, I'll do it all. If I need to go talk to faculty for something to benefit our program, I'll do it. Our program didn't, it wasn't a thing whenever I got here, like I said. The program didn't have a lot of funding. It had enough to get, like I said, 7 computers and desk, and that was it. So to be able to see that we've grown the program this large, now have a total of almost 18 computers in our lab, is just crazy to see. And yeah, so I'm just not only a player. I've been able to see what it's like to be a player. So then I can help my players now that I have, and really help them grow as a person. So, like I said, I came from a town, a very small town. It had 2,000 people in it. The only like food chain that we had there was like Sonic, and it was in the middle of a cornfield. Yeah. So video games, computers was just like not a thing there. You were weird if you played video games there. And so, of course, I played video games. I didn't really have a spot to fit in at school, especially throughout like high school and all that. So whenever I got to college, I thought it was like really cool that they're starting this big program for people that play video games. So I've been able to meet people from all walks of life, from all over the globe. It's just amazing being a part of esports. You just get your networking skills also become a big deal. So during the summer, I worked with schools within the MIAA, and they want to create a league within the MIAA. So right now, there's a small league going on for that, and just being able to meet all the other directors. I meet other students from other universities that I talk to and play with, and yeah, and then also just meeting other people from other cultures. That was another thing. Is like I said, my town was 2,000 people. There wasn't a lot of diversity. And coming to university and joining esports, I got to meet a lot of people within a lot of different diversities. So for me, my main 3 are like Facebook, Twitter now, and LinkedIn. Those are like my main 3 that I have. For our program, you can either join our Discord, which I can send you links to all of this stuff later. But our Discord, or if you go to our university's website and look up esports, there will be esports visit days that you can do. And then also, if you're ever just visiting campus, you can ask the people for a tour of the esports facility, and they should get into contact with us.